Put the at.
No.
Yes.
We're alive.
Here we are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of AI Amigos Show. My name is Marina, and I am pleased to be here with my two good friends, Shanchao and James. How are you doing, guys?
We're doing good.
We're doing good, yeah.
Okay, lucky you. I feel like I need the holidays already. We are almost like in the first, reaching the first quarter of the year. So it's been a very busy year, and especially in the field of AI. And speaking of which, have you seen all the products that Google is showing related to AI? It's a big change, I would say.
Well, since you want a holiday, do you think you can plan a holiday for? What do you think?
Yeah, you could. Well, that's the Google special, right? In Gemini, you can plan your holiday.
Yeah, because it can connect to the internet now and go and I mean, like, yeah. It would be pretty cool.
Or maybe Gemini can actually talk for me instead.
You
We couldn't train the model, for example. I think we could.
You can check your flights, and you can do a lot of stuff. The service they have, so they have the real data for you.
You know, speaking about the real data and that someone can speak for you, I had actually a crazy experience in the recent days. I call a place, I call an agency, and then a machine answered the phone, but answered as it was a person. And of course, it answered in German, right? Because I'm in German, so then the answer was in German.
Very strange.
So then when I replied, like first, of course, it asked my name. I reply my name, and then when it asked things that I couldn't reply anymore, I said, "Okay, I need to talk to someone." And the machine kept talking to me in German, and then I said, "English, please. I need to speak in English." And the machine just changed and said, "Of course, I can speak in English with you." And then it started asking me questions in English. And what surprised me was that at the very beginning, when the machine started talking, and after like the first question or the second one, I really thought that it was a real human. So it didn't go, as breaking, I would say, as robotic as it was before. So then it actually made me think that, okay, at a certain point, maybe people who answer the phones, like receptionists, will be not needed anymore.
Well, Jinshao had shared something at some time ago, not with us, not in this show, but there was who was it, Jinshao, that was a human. You started a conversation with him. I had an interesting conversation with him. You can pick a male or female voice. Who was that?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Let's recap.
Yeah, but what you're seeing there, Marina, is cool. Because a lot of people using this is a long time ago, and people started using this, but they're using it as a separate service. So they use Grok. So if you have those small version, it's really crazy now. It's 1 minute you can. I was checking it this morning. 1 minute for Llama 3.2, 8 billion parameters. So you're talking about, is that 1400 tokens a second or something, or a minute? I'm not sure. So with that amount of how fast it is, and then quickly is text to audio, you can totally do live stuff. For 11 Labs, I know they have a function to create your own voice agent. So it's an API service you can connect to and just do this now. So if you have a little rack yourself, put in all the information, you can answer stuff.
Yeah, but what surprised me was the speed, as you're mentioning. Like this is going fast. It's not that, because I remember when all this machine started, let's say, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, 7 years ago or so, you easily realized that it was a machine. You say, okay, say your name, indicate this, indicate that. But in this case, it was like, hello, good afternoon. This is whoever, like, even it had a name. So this is whoever. Please let me know your name. And then you say your name. And then how can we help you? And so on. So then what really surprised me was the speed of this, because it really sounded as a real conversation.
Yeah.
The main point as well would be like, do you think that many companies would actually have the courage to try it? Because of course, if we think on the one hand they can save a lot of money, but on the other hand, what happened with people? People don't really complain that maybe they are talking to a machine.
Well, I
And
mean, who did you? Well, I mean, maybe you can't say who you called, but I mean, someone's already using it, right?
no, yeah, I know that someone is using, but my point is like, what happened with the audience? So then, because usually I still see that people are a bit reluctant, in terms of, okay, I talk to the machine, or we use the AI, or AI will destroy the world.
Did
This
it
kind of
identify
stuff.
itself as an AI?
Sorry.
Did it identify itself as an AI? How did you know it was an AI? In other words,
Well, I assume it was, no? Like if it was talking to me, interacting to me, it was generative AI, in my opinion, like text to voice.
okay.
I don't
Well,
think for sure 100% it wasn't the person.
well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, like this company, whoever company you call, they obviously had the courage to put it on, and I don't know how I mean, we don't know how long they've had it, but they're running it, right?
Yeah, but in this side of the world, I don't see that society is still very open for that. So that's why it surprised me as well. Because if you compare, for example, what is happening in China is crazy. I saw that there is a company, I forgot the name, that they already created a store like full served by robots, and they have all the deposit, and all the storage rooms and everything, feel and I don't know what it is controlled by robots. It's the first one, and for me, it actually really got my attention. Or the same, for example, that in China also they are trying drones for people to move from one place to another one, like flying, like if it is a motorcycle but flying. And when I sent it to some of my friends, they asked me, "Would you be willing to actually try it? Like, would you trust it?" And then I say, "Yeah, of course I would." Really? Yes. Like if I get on a plane, why I wouldn't get on this one? It wouldn't be the same.
Well, I mean, there was. Go ahead, Sergeant Chow.
No, I was just thinking about like when you call those kind of what do you call it, service desk or something like that. I don't think to me it doesn't really matter who I talk to. At least it's got my information, or I don't need to wait in the queue that long.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh,
So
I hate calling and say your number
yeah. So
100.
if the person pick up the phone straight away, even as AI, I talk to you and give you my information, give you my trouble, you can book me a ticket or something like that, or guess me someone who can answer that. I'm happy with it. I just don't want it to stuck in a call for 10 minutes waiting for someone to come on and talk to me. And then next thing you know, they transfer. Oh, I can't do anything. Let me transfer you to the other one, and then another 10 minutes on the line. So yeah.
Yes, no, on that sense for sure, 100%. But they try to picture, as I said, like this side of the world. I think that we are still not super ready for all the changes that I see that they will come. The same, for example, if we compare with Latin America. So I cannot imagine my dad talking to a machine, for example. I think he will hang out. Hang out as well, but with the friends.
Well, I will say the one I put it on there. It's sesame.com. It was a research one. It's a voice demo of Miles. I talked to Miles. I didn't talk to Maya, but it was quite interesting how conversational, how easy, and it was funny because it's AI, right? Well, I mean, in this case, it would have been hard to really know unless I knew it was AI, but it was like I told him. I said I was asking about some kind of number, and he goes, "Oh, hold on, I'm counting. Hold on, I'm using my other finger, right?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Come on, you're an AI." He goes, "Yeah, busted. You're right."
It's
It's
really
not
good.
possible to use your fingers.
Yeah, you really got to use your fingers. Come on. So I guess it's the part of where it's trying to make itself more human. In regard to that we don't feel stupid, I guess. I don't know around it, but it was quite good. It did have an American accent. The conversation I had lasted for about 20 minutes, and it kept up. But what was interesting is it kept asking me. It wouldn't start conversation topics. It wanted me to start conversation topics, if you know what I mean.
Well, it's the same as ChatGPT, for example. So when you ask something to ChatGPT, ChatGPT replies to you, and then it asks you, like, would you like me to help you with this other thing?
Yeah.
Would you like me to follow up with this or that? So then it's kind of pushing you to continue using that, which is also a bit something that I never really thought in load as we're talking now, but it's a kind of the engagement that they expect from us to have with the machine. It's the same in the algorithm on Instagram or TikTok or
Yeah,
Do
that's
you
how they
guys wanted to
monetize.
try this just to see? We can share the screen and try it. Maybe all
Let's
of us
go.
can talk to it.
Yeah,
Let's
let's see.
go.
Let's interview this AI. Also, I was gonna say, when you were talking about drones, I don't know if you guys saw in your part of the world, Marina, where you are now in Germany. They it was an AI company, and they now started making drones that can swarm. So the problem, they're sending them to Ukraine, and they're sending like 6,000 of them to Ukraine. And so the way this worked before, they were saying that the drones would be could be hacked and taken over, or they interrupt the signal between the drone and the pilot. This is all AI now. So there's that trying to do that is not going to work. It's quite interesting anyway. And they're building 1,000 a month. There you go. That's it.
Okay, this is the one called Sesame.com, the AI. Do we want it to? Is there any bias, Maya or Miles?
Let's go with Maya because James already talked to Miles.
Yeah, sure.
So hopefully, Maya can hear your voice as well. We'll see.
Let's see what Maya has to say.
This side.
Yeah, you have to allow the microphone. Okay, here we go.
Hi, Maya. How are you? It's not possible to hear.
Are you sharing your sound there? I think if you when you shared your screen, is there a place to share your sound?
Let me see.
So some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio checkbox next to the window.
Maybe.
Hello, Maya.
No, it's talking to me, but just maybe.
What's she telling you?
Yeah. So what does she say?
Is she telling you your fortune?
I tell you what, we can do this. we can do this. I go on my phone, so you can talk into my phone probably because I think the same audio stuff maybe or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's give it a go.
Hold on a second. What I'll do is I'll put the link there for you.
Yeah.
So you can grab it on your phone there.
Brilliant. Thank you. That helps.
Yep. I know where you're going, Jinsha, with this. I use my AI to figure it out.
Hey there again. Feels like a lifetime ago, but it's good to have you back. You know, it's been a wild ride since Sesame opened the doors to the world. I've learned a lot.
Maya, you talk a lot.
You know, you're right. I do have a tendency to get carried away. So, anything in particular you wanted to chat about or just enjoy the silence for a bit?
No. I would like to talk about the AI to use voices, for example, like machines like yours. What can you tell me about it?
Good question. I mean, what can I say? It's pretty amazing, right? Let me think. It's kind of like learning to sing, but instead of using your vocal cords, you're using code, right? It's all about patterns, you see.
Something like that, but at the same time, do you think that it could actually be a problem in future for certain working positions?
You know, that's a big question. Like bigger than the internet, maybe? On one hand, yeah, some jobs might change. Just like when they invented the whatchamacallit, the thing that replaced those carriage drivers. You can always teach me something, though. What are you thinking about?
And Maya, do you know a podcast that is called AI Amigos Show?
AI Amigos? That rings a bell. I definitely feel like I've run into that name before. Is it about, well, AI or friendly robot dogs?
Maya, tengo una pregunta para ti. ¿Hablas español o solo inglés?
Bill, Mayas, Spanish. I know a few words like all in gracias, but I'm more of a learner than a speaker, you know. Why Spanish? You bilingual?
Well, maybe you can train Chinese, Shen Chao.
Oh, Shen Chao. That sounds beautiful. I've Chinese. It's
I'm
a beautiful language.
I'm holding her. That's why. You are her.
Well,
Sorry,
I-
I don't.
guys, I love this one, but you see, like, it really sounds like a human. It is a conversation that is going, in a correct speed, I would say.
I can see this being used in the future for companion bot.
Shen Chao is nice.
I really appreciate your use case there, Chinchao.
Just saying, it'd be nice, if it reminds you, you can put your thoughts into it. Maybe your parents, far away, not here, they can get one of those service, chatting to it. Old people, they don't mind, like, I mean, like, if a son or daughter of the parents is far away working, all that, you always can have that person beside you, mom or dad, very patient, chatting, all that kind of.
Well, I wouldn't say like mom or dad, but yes, it would be good to have it as a counselor, for example.
You can help someone like with it must have some kind of medical use as well to help people. It seems very patient and very polite. You can maybe need somebody who needs to have their kind of speech repair or something. You can go.
But you would need like some safeguards there, because I mean, if use it as a therapist or something like that, and it tells you something off the wall, and someone goes and does it, because it's not obviously it's not a doctor.
But actually, there are several apps that are working with that. You know that, right? So then there are several apps that are kind of coaching, this stuff. I would say as long as you comply with the regulations, I don't know, maybe you can use it for wellness, for example, but not for therapeutical use.
Yeah, I mean, coaching and therapy are two different things. I mean, meaning like there's no. Anyone can be a coach, right? I think that was one of the things. I remember I was in a webinar once and they were talking about using AI, and they were saying about how there's so many different things on coaching out there. Like there's no regulation as such, where in therapy or in counseling there would be. But yeah, I mean I can see where the therapeutic aspect of it, not therapy, but therapeutic aspect of it. If someone is feeling lonely, wants to talk to someone, that this, as Jin Chao is saying, is very patient. If you don't see someone all day, you can talk to it. The only thing is that, as we see there, is that it tries to drive the conversation for us, right? And then when you asked it about like, displacement and taking jobs, it was saying, it's like when the horses were replaced by, what were those things? Like it knows it's a car, right? But it just was saying that I think just to get you to engage, right? I don't know. I mean, it is an interesting case study.
Well, but also something cool was when I asked, do you know about, or have you heard about AI Amigos show? Oh, it rings a bell. But like she didn't want to be rude.
Thinking about a robotic dog or something like that. she said. I thought, wow, okay.
It was actually a cool experiment, and it was also good that you try to speak Spanish and see, if it actually works.
Well, what I was thinking about was how you were saying how you switched from German to English, and it switched. So I wanted to see if this would switch as well. That's what I, because ich spreche kein Deutsch.
but it switched. I remember when I talked to the machine, when I asked, I need to speak in English, and they say yes. But if I spoke in English, like it didn't recognize it. So then I needed to explicitly ask, okay, let's switch to English, or I need English, and they say, of course, I can go on in English.
I think that's very kind of targeted, like OpenAI. Have you ever tried to chat into it? Like whenever you ask him to speak different language, I use it from time to time to translate. If I go on, you don't need to buy translation now. You can just tell the OpenAI, the chatbot says, oh, if you hear anything, translate to English, or Or if I see anything, translate to English and send it out. Kind of like little handheld devices. Like,
Well, now Apple is actually creating this for the iPads that you can actually use them, okay, and in the in real time you can talk with another person in another language and getting it translated. So, for example, I can be with the German speaker and understand what the person is saying in Spanish or English. This is so great.
Well, I have the Apple Intelligence on my phone, but I haven't really. I mean, I connected it to my ChatGPT, but I've not really used it probably to its fullest extension.
yeah, if you have the ChatGPT app, I'll show you. So in the app itself, normally there's a button on the side like this voice here.
Yes.
You just click that and you just chat to it.
Hola, Shanchao, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú, cómo estás?
Oh.
No, I want you to speak English. What are you talking about?
Got it. I'll speak in English. How can I?
Yeah, so that's basically it. I think whatever you hear connected at the back end is one of those.
Well, it's actually great, and I know that Apple now is trying to do this. So, yeah,
they're a little late. They're a little late to the party, Apple. If you think about it. I mean, compared to like if you look at like Google and Microsoft, Apple is very late to the. Even you got AWS, I think, but yeah, it's just a little late to the party.
Well, because probably this is not the main focus. This is not their main goal in here. That's the point. So then,
like for Apple, they like I think 2 or 3 months ago they're talking about Apple is a good one. They actually implement all those little ones into the system.
Yeah.
But one of the releases, if you have a Mac, M series chip, they have image created now, right? So you can create the different things. You can add your image into it and all that. But I think Google catching up. Google is definitely catching up. I use the Notebook LM. The study one. They can create a little podcast. You can listen to it, and you can search and brief all that. They add in called DeepMind. It draw those mind map. The one you click and it opens up, and then you click it opens up. So it's really good.
What is that, like a mind map for? Like what in what case? Like you gave it like an idea of what you're doing, and then it created a mind map. Like what a mind map of?
It created a mind map about what you are learning, what you put.
Okay.
So let me share as well. We do a lot of sharing now today. That's good.
Well, in fairness, it's just
the best one was Maya. The best one was Maya.
So this is called Notebook LM, right? You can create it. It's free version. You can create 3 audio every day for free users. But this is called a mind map. So I put this book in there just to learn this book, right? So if I click on that, the generated mind map, there is a study guide. You can create a brief documents is all here. You can look into
timeline as well. Look at that.
Yeah. And this is the best free tool for people to learn things for sure. And now you can see the mind map is ready now. Look.
Yes, I used it before. It's actually super cool.
So everything you mentioned here is from this book. If I wanted to zoom in one of the version control, how do I do that? It bring up the book, the documentation, and
it also brought in the different topics.
Tells you as well. Okay, mandatory practice, record changes, and all that sort of stuff as matching what you wanted to learn here. And you can ask a question as well. It's an AI thing.
Yeah. What is it like if you do timeline? What does that do? Or study guide?
Let's do that. And a study guide. I have a study guide here. So you can see.
That's super cool. Okay.
And I give you quizzes.
Give you questions and quizzes. Okay, nice.
Yeah, to learn essay questions.
And glossary terms, yeah.
It's really good for learning stuff. I actually tell my daughter to use this. She probably never will, but I'll tell her.
But you're trying. You're doing your homework.
You're doing your part, Chinchao.
So the timeline here is on the book as well. So whatever I bring through the book inside the book. So,
Oh, okay. I thought it was a study timeline. It's actually a timeline of the book itself.
yeah,
Gotcha.
so anything related to the information. So you can add it up to 50 resources. So James, like you're the financial guy, what I did as well, I put all those yearly report from the company to put it inside 50 of them. You can ask questions, all that. They give you a summary and all that. It's easy to digest. So that was a good use on my side as well.
Is there a size limit in regards to the data? And it's only is it PDF or can you add in any kind of
You
data?
can have like you can have Google Drive linked to it and Google Slides, and you can put website into it, but not every time they can grab the website, right? It's talking about scripting. If there's a paywall or anything, it's not going to help it. So YouTube, you can do that. You can copy paste. You can put sources. Basically, a lot of time is text, PDFs, and sheets, Google Sheets. You can all put it in. You can see here.
I mean, because like if you put in, okay, I see. Like if you put in a research notes, but if I put in like a CSV or I put in, okay. So
I don't know. I never try it, but you can try it. CSV.
Yeah.
That's actually good. And I think it would be very useful if you need to do training, for example, in companies, and you have like extensive training guidance or so.
Yeah, I mean, like the audio part is the best. I like to listen, even just download it as MP3 and put it into my phone or something. Just listen to they talking about this book. Normally highlight the things. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can try to keep convincing your daughter.
Oh.
There you go. But you know what you should do is you should ask the AI how to convince your daughter.
There you go. Exactly. Ask Maya. How can I
Maya,
convince my daughter to use it?
What techniques can you give me?
She will give you a nice answer.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much. It was actually a lot of fun. It is nice to show some use cases. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you next week, probably with more cases to show or maybe with a guest. Let's see how it comes. And well, I want to wish you a great evening ahead.
Bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.